same warm enthusiasm would have been there had they all known that only yesterday I returned from Kisangani on the Congo River, where, as you know, there's been a serious outbreak. But it is an honour to address such a distinguished assembly tonight under the auspices of the Lady Mayoress, who I'm certainly very charming, and the Sheriff Alderman, who certainly knows how to speak on and on. And our gathering reflects a shared commitment to understanding and addressing the pivotal issues of our time. And tonight, none of these is more pressing, which I want to talk to you about, is the conflict in Ukraine. And the war in Ukraine is not a distant skirmish. It is a seismic event reshaping the geopolitical landscape of Europe and the broader transatlantic community. And this conflict has challenged the post-World War II order, testing the resilience of international alliances and the principles of sovereignty and self-determination. The outcome will reverberate through our global institutions, economies, and selected security frameworks. And since the onset of hostilities, I have travelled to Ukraine 10 times, including 3 times to the front line, seeing for myself the realities faced by its courageous citizens. These visits have taken me, not only, as I've said, to the front line, where I've documented the stories of heroes whose valour and resilience are nothing short of inspiring. And through these stories, I aim to stir the conscience of the Western world, shed light on Ukraine's fight, and rally unwavering support for its cause. I am also pleased to have been able to contribute to various Ukrainian and British charities dedicated to alleviating the suffering of civilians during these trying times. And on the battlefield, Ukraine commands the largest army on the European continent. The conflict has become a force for innovation, particularly in drone technology and electronic warfare. Ukrainian forces have pioneered the use of maritime drones, a testament to their ingenuity and adaptability. In my interviews with Special Forces units like the legendary 13th Unit, I have explored firsthand the development of these groundbreaking tactics. Ukraine stands at the forefront of defense AI, setting a blueprint for addressing hybrid warfare challenges that are only beginning to emerge globally. And closer to home, the Honourable Artillery Company has played a vital role in supporting Ukraine's defence efforts. Since the full-scale invasion, the company has contributed approximately 60 service personnel to Operation Interflex. This mission transforms civilians into competent infantry soldiers within 5 weeks, focusing on lethality, survivability, and instilling a resolute will to fight. To date, over 50,000 Ukrainian soldiers have been trained in the UK under this initiative. Members of the company have also conducted over 50,000 interviews with Ukrainian soldiers, providing insights that have operational, strategic, and tactical implications. Their innovative approach exemplifies the profound impact that a well-coordinated support can achieve. And beyond the immediate horrors of war, Ukraine faces a multitude of challenges. The destruction of infrastructure is staggering, with the World Bank estimating reconstruction costs at $500 billion over the next decade. The mental health crisis is equally dire. The World Health Organization reports that approximately 9.6 million Ukrainians are at risk of or living with mental health conditions due to the ongoing war. Demographically, the nation is confronting a severe decline in birth rates. In 1983, there were 807,000 births, but by 2023, that number had plummeted to 187,000, a fall of 77%. This demographic crisis is perhaps as much of a threat to the country as the military aggression of its neighbour. And in response to these challenges, I have collaborated with First Lady Alina Zelensky's foundation to rebuild critical infrastructure, including a children's hospital in Lviv and a youth center in Volodanka. In my conversations with the First Lady, I have been profoundly moved by her unwavering spirit and dedication to her nation's recovery. And amid the devastation, Ukraine's path towards European Union's accession represents a beacon of hope. Since being granted EU candidate status in June of 2022, Ukraine has made progress in meeting the criteria for full membership. The European Commission recently acknowledged Kyiv's advancements in judicial reform, tackling corruption and aligning its legislation with EU standards, which happily we have removed ourselves from. However, significant hurdles remain. The EU has underscored the need for further progress in areas such as anti-corruption measures, judicial independence, and minority rights. While some optimistically predict Ukraine could join the EU by the early 2030s, others believe a more realistic timeline extends into the mid-2030s. The speed will depend not only on Ukraine's reform momentum, but also the political will of the EU member states and the bloc's capacity to absorb a country of Ukraine's size and strategic importance. Although the UK is no longer an EU member, it has played a crucial role in supporting Ukraine throughout this conflict. Britain was among the first to respond to Ukraine's pleas for assistance, providing crucial intelligence and leading global coalition on weapons, tanks, and fighter jets. The recently signed 100-year partnership agreement between the UK and Ukraine symbolizes a deep and endearing relationship forged in the crucible of war. This agreement prioritizes long-term collaboration in military support, innovation, and reconstruction efforts. It emphasizes creating rapid response mechanisms, enhancing maritime security in the Black and Azov Seas, and supporting Ukraine's path to hopefully NATO membership. However, Britain's support for Ukraine must not end with this agreement. The UK has set a high standard for its leadership, and it must continue to supply Ukraine with the weapons and aid it needs until a just peace is reached. Anything less would betray the principles for which both nations stand. And bear in mind, on any peace deal, the Gordian's knot is Ukraine wants a deal in which Russia cannot come again, and Russia wants a deal where they can come again. And despite the adversities, Ukraine possesses immense potential. The nation's fertile soil has long been recognized as a global agricultural asset, capable of feeding millions. Prior to the war, Ukraine accounted for approximately 10% of global wheat exports and 50% of sunflower oil exports. Additionally, Ukraine was a top 10 global supplier of mineral resources. And you will have heard on the news that Team Donald Trump has his eye on some of that, holding around 5% of the world's total, including critical raw materials such as lithium, titanium, and cobalt. The reconstruction effort presents an opportunity to build a successful and sustainable economy. Ukraine's vast potential in renewable energy, particularly green hydrogen, position it as a key player in Europe's energy transition. Its extensive gas storage facilities could also serve as a critical energy hub for the continent. With President Donald Trump now inaugurated, the prospects for peace have entered a new phase. General Keith Kellogg, President Trump's envoy in Ukraine, has put forward a plan that aims to broker a deal as early as this spring. While the details of the plan remain unknown, it's important that no deal on Ukraine is made without Ukraine. The following principles will remain crucial. A just peace that does not betray the sacrifices of Ukraine's brave fighters, robust security guarantees to prevent future aggression, and a commitment to sustain Western support to rebuild the nation. And according to recent polls in Ukraine, Majority believe that peace will fail without restored borders. A mere ceasefire akin to the failed Minsk agreements of 2014-15 will not suffice. And as we approach the third anniversary of the Russian invasion, it's hard to believe that in a few weeks we'll enter the fourth year. War fatigue may tempt us towards complacency and a wish to end the conflict on any terms. But we must remain steadfast in our support for Ukraine. The challenges we face, rising inflation and economic uncertainties, are significant, but they pale in comparison to those endured by the Ukrainian people and the resilience they demonstrate every day. Ukraine has forever etched itself into the fabric of the Western community, standing as a beacon of integrity and a testament to the enduring human spirit. Let us honour their struggle by reaffirming our commitment to their cause, recognising that in supporting Ukraine, we uphold the principles of freedom and justice that we all share here in the United Kingdom. Thank you very much.